Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy So and welcome back to the channel. Make sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button, and more importantly, turn on that notification button so you guys get notified when we drop hits like this. On this week's episode, Joel and I are talking about the Dolphins getting smacked down in Seattle and who's left to play quarterback, and we give a lot of love to the Miami Hurricanes, currently ranked inside the top 10. It's time to take a ride, y'all. Let's go! And we are back. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Another episode down.
201.
201. It's been a minute since we did 200. You know, a lot of things have been popping off. But like we say in the intros all the time, if you guys got that notification button on, guess what? You're catching all the stuff we've been dropping, including OnlyFans, which dropped last night. Tough pill to swallow, but we did our best, right, to put on a decent show for the folks out there, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're committed. It's not always going to be a win.
No, true.
So, you know, there's losses you're going to have to cover, but man, what a miserable game. I mean, that was, you know, that should have been the headline, the title for OnlyFans. I might go back and change it just to what a miserable game. And that's what it was. And it was a pretty miserable experience to, you know, sit there and have to recap it, but we do it for y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
Absolutely.
If you didn't want to sit there and watch that 3-hour devastation, that tragedy, then you could have just tuned in to 20 minutes on OnlyFans yesterday or today. You know, just go check that out and you'll get all the details there and how we felt about it. But it wasn't great.
It wasn't a great game at all. The feeling wasn't great. The game wasn't great. And what's worse is that we end up walking away with more questions than answers.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
And in hindsight, right, how foolish were some of us, the Dolphins fan base, right, believing that Skylar Thompson, with 10 days worth of time, getting first team reps in practice, game plan adjusted to him, blase, and he will go out there and have a dud. Now, there's a lot of things that you can throw into that, but nothing about his play inspired me to, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, to say like, oh yeah, this is the guy that we're going to be comfortable moving forward with until Tua comes back.
Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. There was nothing redeeming about his performance, unfortunately. And, you know, there's been writings on the wall already. You know, we've seen him in the preseason kind of regress. He had that phenomenal preseason a couple years ago where he basically took us, you know, undefeated in that preseason for whatever that's worth. But put up some stats. I think he was like one of the best performing quarterbacks that preseason and you know, solidified his starting job. And then even, you know, in this offseason when we cut Mike White, you know, he became the number 2 again, the outright number 2. And, I mean, you know, obviously Tua got the bag, but we still need somebody in there that's serviceable, that can come in there and at least get the ball out of his hands on time, make the right decision more often than not. You're going to make the, you know, you're not going to always make the right decision, but make the right one more often than not. And then hopefully occasionally luck is on our side. And that didn't happen for us. That did not happen for us on Sunday.
The reason why it didn't happen for us on Sunday was the lack of foresight, on behalf of the Dolphins coaching staff and the GM, Chris Greer, right? Because we talked about it on the season preview, right? Like, where's the backup plan? How comfortable do we feel in Skylar? Even if it's a Tua get hurt on an ankle and he's out for fucking a quarter, right? Like, who's gonna step in and move this offense down the field in a manner that at worst is a B-? At worst is a B-, because when Tua's in there, at worst it is a C-, right? And nothing's gonna be ever worse than that. But what did these guys do to kind of back up that position? What did we do in terms of shoring up the offensive line, right? Where was the foresight in Teron Armstead, right? And his recent injuries and all this stuff, and having him out there again, knowing that he's not full 100%, gets hurt again in the game, different injury now, and it's like, all right, this dude is walking on like 3 toes. Like, what are we doing having this guy in there? Why aren't we game planning for the rookie, Patrick Paul, to be comfortable to be in there in the game, right? Now, again, I said in the intro, like, we have more questions than answers, right? We're 1-2, waiting until Monday night to play again, right? a team that's 0-3 in the Tennessee Titans, and a team that's going to be, again, focused on coming in here on prime time to give us another loss and embarrassment.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about the past. That's in the past for a reason, especially when it comes to us and the Tennessee Titans and primetime games. But yeah, they got a chip on their shoulder. 0-3, like you just said. And they would love to come into Hard Rock Stadium next Monday night and hand us an L. And honestly, man, there's nothing comforting right now. Because again, we talked about it on OnlyFans. The defense did their thing. Granted, they let up, 20-some points, or whatever it ended up being. But they didn't have any offense to complement them, to complement their efforts when they finally got a stop, and we needed to put up points to kind of make it interesting and at least keep, the defense on the sideline, resting up, getting, catching their breath when we needed them to. They were just out there time and time again, and they just, it's a numbers game, man. That's a professional football team on the other end too, so they're gonna eventually score, and that's exactly what Seattle did, man. Even with a backup running back,
And the backup running back chopped us up too.
He did fantastic.
All right.
Fantasy-wise, if you had him, you were happy with Charbonnet's performance.
Now, don't get me wrong, right? Like, again, to not throw everything on the defense, I think they pitched another shutout or held the team under 7 points in the second half yet again. They've done so in all 3 games, right? So obviously, as the game gets going, these guys get tougher, no doubt.
And that 7 points in the second half was at the very end of the second half, essentially garbage time, where it was like we just couldn't put up anything offensively at all. And again, a numbers game. It was bound to happen. They were bound to get a couple good plays, and they did. They developed a great drive, and they ended up capitalizing it with a big run.
So now that goes into my other topic, right, of play calling, right, and who's in charge of the play calling. Mike McDaniels. Let's start at the top, right? What are you doing, right, on as far as game planning to help Skylar Thompson? Why aren't we a run dominant team right now? If you know that you have a limited quarterback, an extremely limited quarterback, common sense would say, you know what, let's make this easy on this guy. We're going to give it to the running backs. Even if we don't move the ball, we're going to give it to the running backs over and over and over again. And then we'll break them over the top every now and then, or every 8, 10, 12 plays, whatever it is. But we need to do something for that. For Mostert to have 11 carries, dog.
Who?
Not Mostert, excuse me, Achane. To have 11 carries, dog, that's a disrespect.
Yeah, I mean,
that's probably and then, top 5 running backs right now in the NFL, right?
And then not only that, man, you look at the plays that he actually ran and what we did, and there wasn't any production. I think he averaged like 2 yards a carry on those. He had like 20, 30 yards or something like that. And some of them are to the outside where they get buried behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
So O-line is not doing what they need to be doing.
Nope.
And or the receivers on the outside, for that matter. And then anything up the middle, forget about it. There was just non-existent. So we don't have the run game. We can't, utilize our best running back at the moment.
And he's our best player right now.
And then we have no quarterback.
He's our best player right now.
Bro,
all due
just
respect to Tyreek Hill, he's our best player.
No, I disagree wholeheartedly. But look at now that you mentioned it, look at Tyreek Hill's stat line for that game. That'll tell you everything you need to know about that game.
Terrible, Papa.
Do you know what it is for a guy like Tyreek Hill to not even about the receptions, how many targets he had or lack thereof?
5 targets is just.
And most of that came in the second half.
Because again, the offense or the quarterback isn't suited, right? We're trying to do things that we would normally run with Tua, with a quarterback that is not as good as that quarterback, and expect him to do somewhat the same. It's just a recipe for disaster. Another thing, just to keep harping on the coaching, right? Danny Crossman, special teams coach. What the fuck was going on with his guys? They all had 5 or 6 penalties on the day. On special teams alone.
3 of them came right before the first half came to a close.
What are we doing?
It was like, I don't know how many punts.
What are we doing?
We had to punt to do that. It was ridiculous.
You have one job, dog. You have one job. And of course, this is affecting how we're able to fight the battle of field position, right? With the quarterback who is extremely limited, and we can't get nothing going because our field position sucks. Because we're killing ourselves on special teams.
And I don't want to get you going, but to add to the special teams unit, Jason Sanders and the kicking. You know what I mean? We don't have a kicker we can rely on to bang a 55-yarder, consistently, especially right now when we need it the most. We have no quarterback to get it in the end zone. We need somebody that we can rely on to put up points and keep us in the game.
It wasn't even that windy, dog. It wasn't even like a crazy windy condition to be like, oh yeah, at least it was like 23 miles per hour gusting winds. I'll give you a break. No, not at all. And I texted you the first game of the season when you missed that first field goal. I was like, we got to get rid of this guy. You're like, no, bro, give him a chance. And I was like, you know what? He made a field goal towards the end to win the game. Let's hope that was the first and last one he misses of the makeable field goals. That was an extremely makeable field goal. And he missed it badly. Dolphins have to be questioning that. And again, that goes back on Danny Crossman. What are we doing? We invested money into this guy, a position that normally teams do not invest money in. Right? And we're not getting optimal top 3 kickers in the league right now. Get the fuck out of here. I'm straight. I'm not. I'd rather find somebody else for cheaper.
Right.
Right? And back to McDaniels. You mentioned Tyreek's targets. Like, that's all McDaniels. Why are we not throwing screens? Something. Anything.
It's like even the screens, bro. Those bubble screens are getting blown up.
Anything, Joel, but it doesn't matter. You know why they're getting blown up? Because they're not respecting the run. So they know that all they have to do is cover the outsides and all their DBs. That's it. Take away the first route. Not like with Tua, right? Where it's like, all right, fuck, he can go to 2, 3, 4. But we don't know when he's coming back and at what level he's gonna play at. Right? People assume that he's just going to come back and be MVP type Tua that we saw at his peak last year. We don't know that. Back to the contingency plan that Chris Greer should have laid down. Who's going to be the guy that steps up? Because now we're seeing all these backups have success in other teams, and it's like, why didn't we even fucking call these guys? Malik Washington, right? The kid balled out there in Green Bay, went back to Tennessee and won. Andy Dalton gets the start midweek for Carolina, goes out there and has a 300-yard something game. And that's a terrible Carolina offense compared to ours. Terrible. 100%. And they're out there scoring touchdowns, and we're walking away with 3 points, and we missed the field.
That's the power of the Red Rocket, man.
Hey, no, I'm just saying, that's the power of smart planning, right? Because we knew that this could have potentially happened, where our quarterback gets hurt and misses some type of game time. We didn't think it was going to be a concussion. It could have been a shoulder. It could have been a leg injury, whatever. We didn't think it was going to be a concussion, right? But you have to have a backup, like I said in the beginning of the rant. You got to have a backup to say, in case anything happens to this guy, we need this guy to keep it going for however long. Knowing that Skylar Thompson wasn't enough, knowing that Michael White wasn't enough, knowing that Huntley probably isn't enough, that this other kid that played Boyers is probably not enough. Boyles is not enough. So now, again, where's the planning on that?
Yeah.
And now we're in a tough position. We're playing a tough Tennessee team, right? Who has a tough team. They're a good defense. Good defense. And they can run the ball whenever they focus on it. And they have a quarterback who makes stupid decisions. But guess what? That kid plays like a freaking Team Tebow in Florida.
Yeah, he can take a hit.
He can take a hit. He'll find a way to get a first down. He'll find a way to fucking beat you.
Right.
And we can't let that happen on Monday Night Football.
But they are 0-3, and they are a beatable team. And it would be.
So are we.
It would do. But I'm saying, like, we're 1-2.
But we're beatable.
And we are a beatable team. But again, like, this is a great week, to go. All right. We got to go back to the drawing board here. We got to do something differently. Defense, we need to step it up, even further. I know we had our 2 interceptions and stuff like that, but we got to be more disruptive, right? Defensively, but offensively, we got to get in the end zone, man. We got to find a way to get in the end zone, run the ball, do something. McDaniels, it's definitely on him, and we have a lot, man. We have a lot to play for, even this early on in the season, because that game right there, we win it, and it can give us, all right, we're back, back on track to where we want to be. We're 2-2. We're back to even. You know what I mean? Like, can we thug out another game now against another division opponent?
On the road.
Right.
Right before a bye week, though, which probably couldn't even come at a better time.
And they are also beatable.
They're also very beatable. But I think it all falls on McDaniels.
We could also go into our bye week 1-4.
It all falls on McDaniels. And if we're there, there's nobody besides him and Greer that can take blame. yeah, we'll be able to pinpoint the weaknesses on the team.
Sure.
Right? In either department, whatever, like we'll figure that part out, right? Because it'll be noticeable on the field. But that other shit, who's responsible for what's on the field or who's on the sideline, that's up to these guys, right? And we haven't even seen Odell yet, so like, don't even get me started with these guys. Just saying, these next couple of weeks are going to be either really big or really, really worrisome for Mike McDaniel. He just got paid.
Yep.
You know, and the moment you get paid, like, that shit comes with certain expectations.
100%.
Now there's no excuses.
Yeah.
You got to go out there and perform
Produce.
with whatever you want. Because it's not like Ross is sitting up there saying, no to this guy, no to that guy, no, we can't pay this guy. Nah, on the contrary. He's been like, Dolly, get it done, send me the bill. I don't know. Monday Night Football.
No, it's pretty. You lit it out perfectly, man. We got a lot more questions than answers. So, you know, every game from here on out, it's, you know, are we going to get some answers, you know?
Sheesh.
Or are some of our questions going to be answered?
Ball, dog. Just run the ball, dog. Run the ball. Run the ball. Because even Jalen Wright has looked good in certain touches. You can't just give a kid like that 3 touches.
He did. He did. How many touches did he have? 2 carries? 3 carries? I think he broke out for like 20-something, 30-something yards
I'm gonna tell you
in those 2 carries. He had 1 big run. He looked great. He looked really fast, you know, and I agree. But
2 carries, 17 yards with 1 9-yard run. Which is already like, again, Jeff Wilson, 3 carries, 14 yards with a 10-yard run. Guys who can do shit. But guess what? You're not going to be able to do anything off a combined 5 carries.
yeah, no, that's dreadful. Yeah, McDaniels, man, you gotta do something, man.
Step it up.
We're counting on you, coach.
Step it up. Step it up. Big game against Tennessee. And then, again, the Patriots right after that.
You're going to be doing a preview for the Tennessee Titans game?
Yes, sir.
All
Gonna
right.
have the big dog Julio, the fam. Biggest Titan fan I know. And who else better to talk Titans with?
One of the only Titans fans that we know,
right,
frankly.
for sure. But yeah, he's really knowledgeable about his team and obviously football. So I'm really excited to sit down with him and chop it up, dog. Shout out to the fam, Julio, my dog C's.
Yes, sir.
OnlyFans, go check it out. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think, whether or not you agree with our takes. It'll be interesting to see.
And if you're new to the channel, because we know we've had some new followers and some new viewers, it's not an actual OnlyFans. It's OnlyFans with a PH.
Right.
If you don't know that by now.
Yeah,
so I don't know how many. You imagine how many people are going to OnlyFans and like looking up So-So? There's probably a bunch of content creators on OnlyFans named So-So.
You're not gonna find me there.
Who knows? If you're looking for that, you're welcome. If you found that, if you came across that too, but PH on YouTube.
Good luck with that, man.
We haven't even talked about the OnlyFans song, right? The new soundtrack.
No. We got it.
Shout out to Axel.
Shout out to Axel. Shout out to my brother Ace, man. They put it down, dog. We got the
Every
perfect
time,
beat.
bro. Like,
we got to change the song on the OnlyFans right now, as a matter of fact.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you afterwards.
All right. Well, but yeah, every time, bro, they just deliver every single time, man. It's a fire song. It's more, you know, in line with this year, and it's another banger, man. Axel's the GOAT.
Killed it, dog.
He's the GOAT.
The way that he did it so quickly too, dog. And I told him too. I was like, yo, this is not gonna take you guys but like 45 minutes, 30 minutes at most, because you guys have so much chemistry that it'd be so easy for you guys to lay down a quick verse.
George knows exactly how to get him to, you know,
perfect
where he wants him to be, and then he just delivers. Perfect. So shout out to them, man. Go listen to that. Oh, you can even check it out on Instagram and everything. You can add it to any Dolphins content you're posting. You're at the game, you're posting a picture of the Hard Rock Stadium or anything like that. We'll post it in the bio for this.
We'll have the link in
this episode. How to find that?
Sure. We'll also put it in the Instagram bio as well. The Hurricanes, dog. The Hurricanes are
like
demon.
The
Miami ranked,
the top 10 ranked Miami Hurricanes
right now. Yeah, those Hurricanes.
I'm back. I'm gonna say that. I'm back.
You're back as a fan?
I'm back. They've earned it.
All right.
I know they're not playing anybody either. Like, I know there's still probably some fringe people that are like, they haven't played anybody really.
True.
But at the end of the day, you know, the way that they're playing and the way that they're winning these games is dominant. Let's be honest. They're dominant performances.
I mean, that's the shit that we've always burned them for, right? In these past 5, 6, 7 years, right? Like, okay, you guys have enough talent. Maybe you can't compete with the big dogs, right? But you have enough talent to go out there and beat Florida A&M by a lot. You have the talent to go out there and beat FIU, Florida, USF. You know what I mean? Like, you have the talent to go out there and beat those guys by enough. And that's exactly what we saw, dog. A 50-15 victory on the road against a tough team because...
Was that at Raymond James Stadium?
Yes. They actually opened up the extra sections of the of the stadium to have more fans in there for
Yeah,
USF.
it makes sense.
Smart.
I mean, 3-4 hour drive from Miami. It's a good weekend trip to go out there and watch the Canes play at an NFL stadium. So, that was a smart move. And credit to USF, which is my rival. They're not UM's rival. They're more of UCF's rival.
Correct.
In-state rival, which isn't even a rivalry. I wish it was more of a rivalry. But,
you got to get a little bit
we do
stronger.
have a little bit. It's called the War on I-4.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But anyways, they put up a little bit of a fight. They put up a little bit of a fight early on in the game, and I got to give them credit for that. But as the game just went on, you could just tell that those UM players just wore those USF kids out, man. They couldn't hang.
Bro, couldn't hang. They couldn't even smell these guys, dog, because Cam Ward had another offensive fucking amazing game. Became the first player in over 25 years to have his four straight games be over 400 yards. First 4 games, each game 400 yards each time. Just incredible, because he's being really accurate. 24-34, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT, which really wasn't on his fault because it got tipped up, so whatever, early in the game. But he doesn't let that faze him. He just went back and made play after play after play after play. And I think that right now, what we've seen is the addition, right, of talent that Cristobal has done every single year, where we see him stack up these recruits and winning classes and all that shit, but it doesn't translate to the field. I feel like now is where all of that stuff is coming together.
Yeah.
Because there's so much talent on this team. Like, Joel, when was the last time you saw tight ends for the Hurricanes catching touchdowns, catching big plays down the middle and shit like? Well, I haven't seen that in 15 years.
Arroyo looks solid.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a big play kid, you know what I mean? Coming down here, and he's like the 4th, 5th option on this offense.
Yeah, and UM, I know not recently, but I mean historically, UM's tight end dog. Some of the greats have played in a Hurricanes jersey. You think back to Kellen Winslow Jr. You think back to
Shockey,
Greg Olsen, Jeremy Shockey.
Yeah, come on.
Njoku, currently now, if you're talking about right now, Njoku in the Browns. So, yeah, man, it's nice to see that, Restrepo, also a stud, Jacoby George. I mean, talented, a lot of talented guys, but the key guy is Cam Ward. And I'm sorry I messed that up right now. I was going to say Heisman candidate, because he is a favorite, but Cam Ward is that guy, man. He's the difference maker right now for this Hurricane team. And
if you talk about hitting a home run, right, in the portal, like, he's a grand slam, dog. Because, sometimes you get guys that come into your program, they say they're all about it, but they're getting a deal, they're getting money, they're getting some type of notoriety from being with this program now, and it helps them boost their own stock, right? Cam came here because he's like, nah, Miami wanted me before, I couldn't come here. Now I had an opportunity to come back. These guys have a ton of talent. I saw the team that they're building. I said, yeah, I can help. I can be the piece to get these guys to the top. And he came in here. He's been dedicated to it. Again, he's a guy who hits the film room all the time. He's not out there partying. He's not out there enjoying the clubs and doing this. Nah, this dude is studying film. He's always practicing, getting stronger in the weight room, helping his guys learn their routes and how they can get better, where the blocking schemes are at. And you see that trickle down into the rest of the offense for these guys to play with such freedom. Because it's not like they're playing like, oh, I got to run this out and run it perfect. Nah, these dudes are sometimes freestyling the route.
They're confident.
Just playing with an immense level of confidence right now. And all of that has to do because their quarterback is feeling it and he's dealing it.
You saw the clip. You saw the clip of him in the pocket, like when it was like Cam Ward is cool, calm, cool, collect, or something like that.
Yeah.
And like it's him like taking a snap. And like it's a fake, so it's a play action. So he comes like that, and then kind of hides the ball, and then like takes his time, and then sets up in the stance and slings it. And it's like, dude, like that's exactly what you need right there. Especially, we need to dominate the way that we're doing because of the cookie cutter, the cupcake schedule that we have, right? So the fact that they're now in the top 10, it's like, all right, now people are starting to notice the Hurricane team. They have to keep this up, frankly.
For sure. And look, credit to USF. They went out there and they did their best. Dog. They really gave the Hurricanes a tough game, right? Again, not an easy offense to play against because they're a hurry-up offense. They're getting up to the line every single play. They're calling plays from the pocket. Like they're not letting teams sub out and in. Like they're making it hard for you to gain to set up your defense, and that's how they beat teams. And they just gave Alabama a hell of a game in Alabama, right? So they were obviously playing with some type of confidence, and the score shows that early on in the game. But Miami is just a different class right now. It's just a different class right now, and the level of players right now that these guys have is incredible. I mean, look, true freshman Jordan Lyle, dog, broke a 90-something yard touchdown. I posted it on the Instagram. Holla, shout out to Jordan Lyle. But that's a freshman coming in at the end of the game to kill it. You know what I'm saying? He's saying like, bueno, this is like the second or third carry I'm gonna get here. I get la para la casa. Bye. Right? I'm out of here. How do I get my name known in a team full of studs? Right? This is how you do that. In garbage time, go out there and put on a show. And it's, again, been a long time since the Hurricanes have had the opportunity, right, to play guys, feature them in garbage time, and have those guys show out and be studs. Like, that's been since, like, the early 2000s, where we haven't really seen that. Yeah. So it's incredible to see them doing it. You can fluff the schedule all you want, right, and point at it or whatever, but truth be told, you got to beat everybody who's on it at the end of the day. And if you're going out there and playing inferior opponents, go out there and beat them soundly. And every single time that the Hurricanes have faced a team soundly, every single time that the Canes have faced an opponent, they have beaten them soundly. So that's again really rare for me. Makes me super happy and a little bit cautious, right? Because as a fan, I'm always waiting for that other shoe to drop, right? And be like, fuck, dog, I knew there was something wrong here. But truth be told, bro, the way that they're dominating teams, like, there's nothing stopping these guys from having a hell of a season.
Yeah, they're having it right now, man. Two guys we haven't even mentioned right now, and it's just got to do the milk run, got to mention these guys because they're just playing again so great. Obviously, I know Lyle had the garbage time, but the guy that has the impact all game that you're confident, it's a first and goal, second and goal situation. Yeah. He's going to get it in. Damian Martinez, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, that kid's a stud.
He's a stud.
The way that he looks like he's like already at a pro level. The way that he, can find the hole, or he can kind of wait patiently and kind of wait for the hole to develop. So shout out to him. But then on the defensive side, dude, Bissant.
Yeah, and
that guy's all over the field.
He's all over the field. And again, playing with a freedom. Right? Playing with a freedom. So once they're playing with that level of freedom, then there's no choice but to expect a high level of play from those guys individually and then collectively, right? Because again, second half, defense turns into a machine, shuts down everything that they had going on, and that game was a wrap, right? It's just nice, really. It is nice to see it all coming now to fruition, and I think that's what drew guys here, like Martinez, like Cam. The fact that, Manny has done a good job of, Mario has done a good job of, building up the talent on the team to a level where it's like, all right, boys, now we can go out there and really compete.
Yeah.
Week in, week out.
We can do the plan that I have, the master plan that I have in mind. I have the pieces for it.
It can work, right?
Because we did, to your point, we've always had, role players, really, not role players, but, really good individual, stars, at any given time. Most recently I can think of is Cam Kitchens, was phenomenal on that defense, but we didn't really have much around him, and now we have a lot better assets around that are complementary to our stars like Bissant and stuff like that. And on the offensive side, to, your Braxton Berrios? No, not Braxton Berrios. Restrepo. Who's another stud, Braxton Berrios, this guy. Restrepo that, now has a guy like Cam Ward that, he's a good route runner. He's going to be where he needs to be. And now he has a guy that can put the ball on him every single time.
Yeah. Isaiah Horan, just guys, bro, Sam Brown, just guys that you can rely on week in, week out to make plays. And when you have those type of weapons, guess what? Cam Ward is that damn good that he's going to find them. And I love this little thing, whatever this is. I love what that is. I don't know what the hell that means when they do it, but whenever they do it, I do it inside my crib. I don't know, but it's dope. And that's the fun.
Yeah,
that's
swag.
The energy, the swag, the confidence. The swag looks like it's starting to come back after you, bro. It keeps going this Friday night. ACC play officially kicks off, facing a tough Virginia Tech team at home. Virginia Tech is one of those teams historically that have given the Hurricanes problem. They're 2-2 right now, just coming off a loss, so they're playing with a lot, to look forward to, and obviously having a top 10 team in front of you is always enough of a reason to go out there and play your best game of the season, right? So it's going to be a tough matchup for the Hurricanes. It's going to be prime time, 7:30 on ESPN. All eyes on you.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do, right?
That's it.
Are you the real deal or not? You know, and I'm expecting this Hurricanes team to answer the bell, because this, for a fact, the most talented team that we've had in over 15 years, for sure.
How do you feel about Cam Ward's Heisman stock?
I love it. I love it because, again, it just shows you that the rest of the nation is taking notice of this kid who's really doing it the right way, right? And he didn't just transfer to the best possible scenario that he could afford. He could have gone to Alabama. He could have gone to any one of these big name schools, right, that want a quarterback, and he could have gone out there and try to like do it with them. But he decided to take on this challenge. He likes being down here in Miami. He likes the talent. He likes the coaching staff, and he rather say, you know what, you guys don't think that we can do this? Instead of being expected to do it, you don't think we can do it? I'm gonna show you guys that we can do it, and watch me do it with my boys. So I love it. It just shows you that he's a real leader, bro, and the play is getting noticed nationwide.
Yeah, he's the outright leader right now. I just looked it up, plus 400. So he's the outright favorite right now for the Heisman Trophy. So if you got in early on that bet, if you were a Cam Ward
plus 500, plus
believer,
1,500.
yeah, it's looking promising right now. So we just gotta keep doing what we're doing, man. So I'm back.
That's it.
You's not necessarily back,
but the fans are coming back.
But they're trending.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm back.
All right.
Because they're trending in the right direction.
Let's be honest, dog. You're not the only one who's coming back, right? Like, a lot of UN fans are coming back now. They see the team is for real. They see the realness in Cam Ward. And I think that Friday night is gonna be a sellout. It's going to be a while since we have a sellout, and it's going to be a great game too, man. I hope they do the blackout. I haven't announced it yet, but you know I know the plug, so he's going to let me know early.
Dope.
I might just put it on Instagram when he tells me.
Dope.
Sorry, Rick. Yeah, man, that's it. That's all we got, bro.
Short and sweet this week.
Short and sweet, man. You know, we got a lot of content coming on YouTube. We got BKFC interviews.
Hey, it's the first day of fall.
Yes, I guess that's something. That doesn't mean shit down here,
but
dude.
it does, sports-wise.
Okay.
Because that means that we're almost in like the legit prime of the year. Next month, we're gonna have NFL.
Yep.
MLB.
Yep. NBA.
NBA.
Yep.
NHL.
Yep.
There might even be some other stuff sprinkled in there.
No, college basketball will be up and running.
But that's the majority. College football too. So we're prime here for a good run.
For sure. And we just need more stuff to talk about down here in South Florida. So we're definitely gonna do a Panthers preview, right? Shout out to the Panthers preview.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to the Stanley Cup winning fucking Florida Panthers, this guy. Panthers preview for sure. We're gonna wrap up, I guess, the sad Martin season some other time. We'll get to those guys whenever.
Yeah.
And that's it, man. We're just working on getting you guys some dope.
The only worthy thing to talk about the Marlins is the Shohei Ohtani.
That's it. Oh yeah. That was pretty cool. All right, I'll give him that. Hitting 50 and stealing 50 in Marlins Park, Lone Depot Stadium Park.
He set history in Marlins Park.
Yeah, it's cool, man. But it still wasn't a sellout.
Oh no, absolutely not. Shout
out to all the Dodgers fans that made it. I'm glad you guys got to see
If you
it
were a Dodger fan and you weren't at that game, I mean, they were giving away tickets. I'm sure
there was no better opportunity.
But history was made at the park.
At the park. Hey. Shout out to Ohtani, man. Literally the Babe Ruth of our time.
Yeah.
Wild.
Fascinating
what
stuff.
That guy does, man. And he's got an awesome story too, man. So check him out if you haven't, man. Look that guy up.
Loves to gamble.
Yeah. He's got a wild story. But that's it from us, man. You guys know what to do. You got to tell a friend.
To tell a friend.
To tell another friend.
To tell everybody they know.
To tell everybody they know, and to tell the abuela, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna let everybody in the building, all right, about this dope ass podcast, what we got going on, more shows, more interviews, more OnlyFans, more everything. Until next time.
Peace.